Hi, everybody. I want to give you a quick tour of, or a quick preview of the new version of Moodle that we're installing here at Pacific University, Moodle 4.5. Now, first thing I want to say is that this is not a huge update. Most things will stay the same in Moodle, so you won't need to make any major adjustments to your course design or how your workflow in Moodle. Also, you won't notice a lot of big changes in either how tools work or other kinds of things. But there are a couple differences and a couple of improvements, and so I want to highlight those and let you know what those are. So we're here in our dashboard, and this is one of the places that hasn't changed too much. This still looks pretty much the same. So we're going to dive right into a course site and take a look at some of where you might see some changes. So here we are in my Moodle demonstration course. And the first thing that you'll notice as you scroll down here is that our icons have been updated. And this is pretty nice. If you'll remember in our current version, icons are sort of icons by groups, by types of tools. But now each tool has its own individual icon, and this will actually be a pretty big improvement and will really help both you and your students find the things that they need to find and have a good visual indication of what those things are. Another big change that we have is over here or another somewhat big change that we have is over here in our side menu. Our topics aren't right now are collapsible and expandable, but we have up here this under these three dots the ability to expand all or collapse all of the items over here. So now, as you can see, when you get, and as you're probably experienced in Moodle 4.2, that as your course gets bigger, as you get further on in the semester, you have to scroll and scroll and scroll here to find stuff, and it can be a little hard sometimes to find the right place that you're looking. So now you can just collapse all of those things, find exactly what the week that you're looking for, expand only that week, and then you can go right to what you need to look at. Another thing that's going to be pretty useful is that when we click on one of the weeks here over on this left-hand side, what will happen is we'll be taken to an individual window for just that topic, right? So as you know, in the current version of Moodle, we have sort of this, you have everything is on one page and you scroll and scroll. In this case, what we can do is when we click on one of these weeks is we stay in that particular section. So this is super helpful both for your students so that they could go and work on one particular area, but this is also really helpful for you if you're teaching in Moodle and adding stuff. So if you're working here and I turn my edit mode on, what will happen is I just get popped to the top of this section. I don't get popped all the way back up to the course. So if I'm working in here, working back and forth from edit mode into the sort of the preview mode, then it's much more easy for me to work in here and not get knocked back up to the top and just keep my focus. To get back to the big page, we just use our breadcrumb trail and go out here. The next thing I want to show you is a feature that we're really excited about here in Setsi, and something that I personally wanted to see in Moodle for a long time. And that's the ability to add subsections to each of your weeks or topics or sections within Moodle. I added a couple here, just real simple ones that you can see. Here's a new subsection right here, and you see it has a document in it. This is another one that has an assignment. I can add as many different things as I want to. Any tool, document, item that I can add in a regular section, I can add into the subsection, and I can add as many as I want. So if I turn editing on, I can go down to my subsection here that has a document into it, and I can go ahead and add an assignment, for example. Just as simple as that. Let me get back to there. And so you see now my subsection now has an assignment and this document in it. And again, I can just add whatever I want to. I can add a description here to do this. So this is a really nice feature for organization of your site. So you can group things together and put like things next to like things. I think you'll find it really useful for designing your sites, for organizing your sites, and really helping your students navigate through a meaningful learning experience. The very last thing I want to show you or the very last tool is an improvement that's been made to the text editor. So let's take a look at this. So I'm going to go here, add activity or research. I'm just going to pull up a page that has, because I know that has a text editor in it. Go to the page tool. And then I just scroll down here. And now you can see, you if you remember the old text editors had a line across here, and then it had what my colleague Tatiana called the kitchen sink button over here that had all the stuff under it. But now the new text editor, what they've done is they've grouped everything under menus. So it's much easier to find things. So I click on view or insert or format, and I can see all the different options that I have. So this makes it much easier to find what you can do with the text editor. It also makes it, since they have the text next to the icon, it also makes it much more or much easier to know what these things are. So we think you'll find this a lot more useful when you have to create things within Moodle, and it'll just make your life a little bit easier. So that's it. There's a couple other little things. If you come to one of our workshops where we're going to be showing off or previewing Moodle, we'll show you, get a little more in depth into these things. But those are the big changes that we've seen here. Again, none of these are going to impact your workflow too much or going to change any existing sites. So you can feel very confident that you'll be able to go into Moodle and it'll work like you did, and you wouldn't need to do a lot of redesign. However, I think that these navigational changes will make it easier for your students and for you to find things. And also a couple of these new features will make it easier for you to design and organize your course as you go forward.